What's up, everyone? Godzilla vs. Kong comes out this month, so leading up to that, I'll be reviewing all the movies in this like MonsterVerse thing that Warner Bros. Has going. So that starts with 2014's Godzilla, directed by Gareth Edwards. So let's take. So rewatching it just a few days ago, this was the first time I had seen it since it came out in 2014, at a drive-in theater, funny enough. But I remember not liking it back then, but this time watching it through, I was actually pleasantly surprised by it. This movie is really like the simple Godzilla format with a little bit more drama and a little bit more human elements to it. Like this natural disaster happens over in like Japan or somewhere in East Asia, and then Godzilla like comes out of the ground, and so do these weird like bird, monster, insect type things, and they really just like cause chaos there. Then they head to San Francisco, and then the humans have to find ways to like stop the monsters with causing the minimal damage and killing as few humans as possible. So they try to like nuke them and stuff. So then it ends up obviously Godzilla saves the day, and at the end he kills the two bird things, whatever they are, and saves the day in San Francisco in this big epic, monster clash there at the end. And then he goes back into the ocean, and that's really the movie. So that's a very simple version of the plot. There's a lot more human elements and more like character arcs in the movie, perhaps a little bit more than there should be. But anyways, now let's take a look at what this movie did well. So first off, when Godzilla was in this movie was awesome. The fight scene there at the end between Godzilla and the two bird things was absolutely amazing. And I absolutely loved when Godzilla like shot his flames down the like bird thing's throat. That was just such an awesome scene. Like that stuff is just so cool, and that's exactly what you sign up for when you go to a Godzilla movie. And that's exactly what you want to see, especially with nowadays with the CGI and the budgets they have. It's really amazing what they can do, and this stuff looks so cool. And that's really why these movies have become like spectacles. And how can you not love, Godzilla destroying a city and getting these huge fights with like monsters and killing them? That stuff's so awesome. And that's why everybody loves Godzilla and loves the Godzilla movies. I thought the human characters in the movie were pretty good for a monster movie. I loved Bryan Cranston's character when he was in the movie. He was only in it for like the first 40 minutes or so. I do wish he had been in it a little more, because he's an incredible actor. I love Breaking Bad, so I love seeing him in anything I can see him in, and he just has a phenomenal performance in here. I love his character arc. Like, he's the only one who knows the truth about Godzilla, and he's just trying to like get people to understand the danger of what they're gonna unleash. That's a really cool arc, and I just enjoyed every second of him being on screen in this movie. And the other characters in this movie were good as well. And Ken Watanabe, it's always cool to see him in a movie, in a Godzilla movie especially. He's a good actor as well. Once again, another good actor who's maybe not in it as much as they should be. And one surprising thing, going back and revisiting it, that I don't remember the first time, is the score here was actually like really good, and a really just an underrated score. I don't remember who the composer was, but it was I had never heard of them, so I wasn't expecting anything crazy. I was hoping it was like Hans Zimmer or something, but it was just someone I had never heard of. But it was a phenomenal score. It really played with the movie well. It built up energy when it was supposed to. Like during the fights, it was just had this blaring score that just fills you, almost like Hans Zimmer-esque score. And overall, it's just a really surprisingly good score, and a good pleasant surprise, and certainly something I didn't expect. I thought the plot was pretty cool. It kind of took like a more realistic approach on Godzilla. That's kind of a trend with modern movies, kind of retellings of old stories like Man of Steel. There's a more realistic approach on something. How humans and governments would react to a huge monster coming out of the ocean, and what they would do. This movie definitely kind of tackles some of those ideas, as well as really humans like creating their own demise and just like trying, with research, kind of just digging deeper, and then they unveil Godzilla, kind of along that same like Jurassic Park kind of arc. And really the human plot in the first half was really, really good. First half of the movie, I was intrigued by that plot. It kind of died off, and it was not as strong in the second half, and it was more about the monsters. And they kept going back to the human arc, and I didn't really care about it as much. But the first half of that movie, I really liked some of those human elements. So that's it for the good. Now let's look at the bad. So this movie's fatal flaw was it simply just did not show the monsters enough. When you sign up for a Godzilla movie, you expect to see lots of, monsters fighting and like huge explosions and, Godzilla shooting like fire at monsters. There just wasn't enough of that. And it's very simple. Like, I want to watch a Godzilla movie. I want to see Godzilla ripping monsters' heads off. You know, I do appreciate that they kind of went for a different route here, kind of looking at it more realistically. But the plot did struggle at times, and you know, at the end of the day, you just want to see Godzilla fighting other monsters and destroying cities. This movie's focused way too much on the human plot, particularly in the second half, especially with Aaron Taylor Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen's characters. I just didn't care about their plot. It was just, you know, humans dealing with this situation rather than kind of a twist on it. It was just, oh, you know, I'm in San Francisco when Godzilla comes. What am I going to do? Oh, I'm in the army when Godzilla comes. What am I going to do? And that's kind of what their arcs were, and it was really generic, really predictable, kind of them reacting to the situation rather than adding to the movie. It's just kind of, these movies feel like they have to show humans, so they just show people reacting to it, I guess, and I don't know, I don't really dig that. Like I said, the plot in Japan was really cool, but once the monsters got released and like Bryan Cranston died and everything, there should have been less humans and more monsters, and it really should have started the end of the movie. Like about halfway through, Godzilla gets released, and then there's still another hour left, and that's really unfortunate. This movie, along that same line, this movie's kind of too long. I don't mind a 2-hour movie at all. I like long movies, but like, you know, it's just, you want to see Godzilla fighting, and when he's not, you're not really into the movie. The first half of this movie did a good job at keeping you into it. The second half didn't, and it was really frustrating because I really wanted to like this movie more than I did. And kind of a minor complaint, I guess. This movie had like a really dreary gray font to it. It felt almost like the early DC movies with Zack Snyder. It's just everything was gray, like, especially at the end fight. And then the only thing that was blue was Godzilla's flames. Maybe that was why they did it. They wanted to have this big pop of his flames coming out of his mouth, which was a good scene. Don't get me wrong. I did enjoy that. Really good like fan service there at the end. But I don't know. Why does everything have to be gray? I didn't enjoy that. Where are all the other colors? You know, I like colorful pictures. I don't like, you know, everything being gray. I don't know what's up with that, but that was just a little frustrating. All right, so that's it for the negative. Now let's go on to my score of the movie. So overall, I did actually like this movie. I complained about it quite a bit. It's really a successful Godzilla entry in the franchise, really almost a revival of Godzilla, especially in America, kind of making Americans care about Godzilla again. The plot was intriguing, though it may have been overstretched. The monster fights are cool when they were in it, especially at the end. The Godzilla monster fight was awesome, just classic Godzilla. It was a sweet scene. So I'm going to give this movie an 81 and a B. 81 might be a bit high, or it might seem a bit high, but I really had fun watching it. But it did have these major glaring flaws. This movie's really close to being great, like, you know, 90% or above. But there's these glaring issues in the movie that just hold it back for me and just make it really a generic, you know, B movie. So that was frustrating. But I did enjoy it. It is a very successful Godzilla movie and one of the best American Godzilla movies. Alright, and that will do it for my review of Godzilla from 2014. Stay tuned. Like I said at the beginning, I'll be reviewing all the like Warner Bros. Monsterverse movies leading up to Godzilla vs. Kong at the end of the month. So next will be Kong Skull Island. I actually haven't seen that one yet, so I'm excited to check it out and review it for you. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, down below, let me know what you thought of Godzilla. And thanks for watching, and have a great day.